And now moving to South America, Argentina's Senate has voted to approve the first set of harsh austerity measures proposed by President Javier Milei. The bill was passed after a marathon debate and seeks to boost investment by privatizing public entities and providing incentives for businesses.
For those Argentinians who deserve to regain the pride of being Argentinian and always thinking of everything for Argentina, my vote is affirmative for today's Order 3724.
Now, the move has sparked tensions among Argentines who protested violently on the streets of Buenos Aires. Thousands of protesters gathered near the Senate building in a demonstration against Milei's reform bill. While the protests began with songs and street barbecues, they soon turned violent as riots erupted shortly after the debate unfolded inside the Congressional building.
No, we can't give in. He's not Nero, he's waiting for us to set everything on fire. This man thinks he is an emperor, that's why I say he is crazy. It's not like that. This guy thinks he owns everything, that he can change everything. It's not going to change it.
Argentinian police tried to disperse the crowd using tear gas, rubber bullets, pepper spray, and even water cannons. Several opposition leaders who were part of these protests had to be hospitalized and treated for burns to their eyes and skin. The police detained 18 people in the connection with violent protests, and the Milei administration accused them of attempting to overthrow the government. Now, President Milei has vowed to slash state spending with his chainsaw campaign and contends his austerity measures will bring inflation and the country's sovereign debt under control. However, critics predict the steep cuts will only worsen the situation.
This is a disastrous law for the Argentine people, where there is a labor reform without severance pay, where workers pay the salary tax again, where President Terminator is empowered to take any measure for 1 year, where international corporations are empowered to invest in our country with a 30-year grace period on taxes.
The Argentine president has already planned to dismiss 70,000 government employees in the coming months, along with slashing state subsidies for fuel, cutting off funding to provincial governments, and freezing public works. All of this comes at a time when Argentina's annual inflation rate sits at nearly 300% amid a recession that's only deepening.
This law attacks all workers in Argentina. I am a retired teacher, and I do not want to be the last generation of retirees in my family. I want my sister, who is a doctor, to be able to retire, my niece, who is a student, and my daughters, who are professionals and who will not be able to retire if the pension package passes today.
The controversial reform bill that's sparking nationwide outrage features 600 articles and must be approved by lawmakers article by article. Now, if everything falls into place, President Milei could finally claim his first legislative win, a monumental milestone which has so far eluded him 6 months into office. From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.
Fan of Italy's famous cuisine? Well, we are serving it with a side of diplomacy. As G7 leaders gather in southern Italy, Vantage is taking you to the heart of the action. What's the agenda? Who's invited? And how is Italy preparing for it? Catch the special edition of Vantage throughout this week, only on Firstpost. Fan of Italy's famous cuisine? Well, we are serving it with a side of diplomacy. As the G7 leaders gather in southern Italy, Vantage is taking you to the heart of the action. What's the agenda? Who is invited? And how is Italy preparing for it? Catch the special edition of Vantage throughout this week, only on Firstpost.